In this episode, we're talking about what happens when AI does take over and seeks to completely erase us, but we have real cool fighting powers. It's Godbreakers. This and more on Indie Game Arcade. Welcome back to Indie Game Arcade, a podcast that deep dives into the latest and greatest indie games. I'm your casual connoisseur. My name's Chris.
And I'm your permadeath protagonist. I'm Joseph. I needed a P word. I was like, what's a good P word with permadeath?
You gotta get that good P. Hey, real quick, just because I've been reminding everybody, keep doing that thing and giving us some reviews wherever you're listening to this podcast. It's really helping us out. Been loving the reviews we've been getting so far. Some of them are a little cheeky and some of them are really, really sweet. So appreciating that, especially every once in a while I see one that's just like, hey, I listened to you guys back in the day when you did Cartoon Boom. And even farther back when Cartoon Boom was called Saturday Morning Cartoon Boom. So we've got a few, we got a few old timers out there from
some elder listeners. Yeah.
We started that podcast 10 years ago, believe it or not, which is crazy. So we've been doing this for a little bit. You'd think we'd be better by now, but
we just keep changing subjects. Maybe if we stuck with one thing.
Yeah. You know, you can only get so far without talent.
True.
Hey, speaking of not having talent, I didn't play this game that we're going to talk about, but
okay,
because it looks like you might need some talent to play it. But I actually have read quite a bit about it. I know a lot of people that have played this one, and I'm really interested in it. So I'm going to stop beating around the bush. We're going to go ahead and introduce it. Game start! This is Godbreakers, which was released on October 23rd, 2025, developed by To The Sky, which is, I like that name. To The Sky. I feel like you get a point upwards when you say that name. Published by Thunderful, which I do like Thunderful as a publisher. I think they also published, I want to say Lost in Random, The Eternal Die, I think.
Oh, that was a great
Thunderful.
game.
Yeah. Retails for $27.99, and for a quick description, Godbreakers is a fast-paced action roguelike hack and slash where up to 4 players can battle through shifting biomes, fight major bosses, absorb enemy powers, and turn them against the masters in a world where AI had erased humanity in pursuit of perfection. And now you are the final weapon left to fight back. Does that sound right? Does that all sound good?
Yeah, that feels right. I mean,
it feels
as
right.
Many times as I've played through the campaign, or not campaign.
You didn't run into any of this, did you?
No, I
any
did.
Of this story.
There is, yeah.
Okay.
Like it's like I haven't gotten the true ending, which I'm curious how that comes about because, well, I'll get into it as I talk more about the game and how it flows.
Can I just say really quick how strange it is? And like, this is such a gaming thing because like, you don't find this in any other medium really, where like you have an ending, but then you have the true ending. You know, where it's like the ending isn't really the ending.
Yeah, especially
you gotta do more.
Yeah, roguelikes, that's the bread and butter. Like that's the reason to keep playing a roguelike. That's what keeps you coming back because like, yeah, you can beat it, but you'll only get like the chump ending of like, oh, you've done it, but there's always more. Yeah. It's the ending for suckers because it's not a real ending. That's like it's
a false
basically
ending.
A game over. That's just like, okay, good luck. Good job. Try again. Try harder. Get better. Get good.
Get better. Like, yeah, you beat the game, but like, you know, you barely beat the game.
Yeah, but it's like, did you really beat the game? And the answer
you did the bare minimum.
Is no.
You completed what we told you to do, but that's not good enough. Try harder. Yeah.
You gotta go above and beyond.
That's crazy to me, though. Like, when you think too long about it, it makes zero sense. But, you know, games are weird, and I love it.
It's the counter to what they used to do with video games that were much shorter is they made them all so hard that you had to keep coming back for more and playing them again and or renting them from Blockbuster or whatever the case was. You could not beat it in one go because it's just like you had like 3 continues. It was brutal. Like the game was just brutal and like intentionally trying to like eat your quarters and or like take your time if it's on the console. So it's like this is like a better version of that because at least you can play through the game now. It's just like you got to keep upping the difficulty. And what I love about roguelikes is like the more you play it, which is what they're incentivizing you to do, the better you're going to get at it. And then it becomes like not easy, but you start speaking that language. You start like getting into the rhythm of it. And then the true ending feels so well earned because you're like, man, I have mastered this system. And usually if it's paced well, then the best kind of roguelikes will have you finish like just as you have mastered the system and you are not bored of it yet. And so you just feel like, yes, I have completely done this. I am a champion of whatever this game is, and I don't need to keep coming back for more. I might pick it up again if there's DLC or something, but I'm good for now.
I would love a blockbuster of indie games. Sorry, that stuck in my head. I promise I was listening, but I kept thinking about Blockbuster.
Oh, so, no one else does.
Yeah, I do. I think about a lot of weird stuff to no one's surprise.
Well, I still have to visit the only one that's left.
Yeah, I know. This is a really weird tangent, but because I was saying like I think about weird stuff no one else does, today I just kept thinking about that one politician that years ago was like on the campaign trail and he ruined his entire campaign just by like sort of like yeehawing a little bit during a speech where he was like, yeah, I think his name is like Howard Dean. And like, I just think about how that little noise he made ruined his entire political career and how funny that is. I thought about that for like an hour today.
Wow. I don't even know what you're talking about. It sounds vaguely familiar, but it's out of my memory.
Someone out there might know. If you know, I want you to put that in your comment when you leave a review for this podcast, please.
All right.
Hey, tell me about this game.
Hey, yeah. So this game, it's a action roguelike. It's got more of a Risk of Rain type of perspective because you're
yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, you've got a 3D environment. You're kind of more zoomed in than something like Hades, and you have a lot of like movement and free reign around these 3D arenas that you're in. You go room to room as you would with any. You don't really get a choice of like, oh, I'm going to go to this door or this door. The way that the map is laid out, there are a total of 6 areas. The first, like, well, actually, no, that's not true. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Are you talking about biomes?
6, 7 areas, I guess. Yeah, because you go to like each. You basically you choose a side to go on, and then it's all these little things that look like planets. You go to those biomes. And you can switch to the other side to go to a different biome after you finish one, but you'll go to a total of 3 different biomes. And the 4th is always the like boss, the final boss part. And that's kind of the flow of the game is you're choosing between those biomes and going through. There are these missions that come up and those are important. And this is where I'm like not finished with it yet because I haven't done all of them. So what they come in different varieties. Each biome has like a set of, I think, 7 total missions, and they'll be something, they'll start simple, like you need to kill like 5 of this type of enemy as you go through this biome. It's like, okay, cool, I got that one done. And the next one will pop up. And then it's like, okay, you need to do this, use the environment to take out 10 enemies or something. And it's a variety of things like that are little side missions inside of your actual mission. They will sometimes unlock cosmetics or different things for your nothing that will necessarily like be for your run unless you're unlocking a new weapon, but cosmetics will unlock from those. And after you unlock after you finish the 7th one, which I've only done one of, it'll unlock like a new kind of tangle. And what tangles are the difficulty modifiers you can add, with any roguelike, where it's always like, okay, how do you want to make this harder on yourself to get some sort of bonus from it? Yeah, exactly. And so in my mind, I thought, because there's these little like biomes on the side that show like, not biomes, there's these like spheres on the side when you're starting, before you start your run, where it's like, I have this many tangles active. There's only 5 of them total. that you can activate at once. So I was like, okay, cool. If all of those little things are filled, all 5 of them, and I beat the game with 5 of those on, that's got to be how the true ending like comes about. And that wasn't true. I finished it with 5 different 5 different tangles on, and I got an achievement that only like 3% of people have gotten so far, it looks like. But it's like, it did nothing for me. It just was like, cool, you did well. But the ending was the same.
Get better at this game.
It wasn't even a get better thing. It's like, so I think what it is I have to unlock potentially all of those like extra tangles from beating 7, like all 7 of the missions on each of those biomes. Then I would have like 5 or more of those like special ones. Maybe activating all of those is what does it. I truly don't know. I haven't looked it up. Maybe I will at some point, but like, I was surprised that wasn't what got me any kind of different ending. It was exactly the same, and I was kind of disappointed in that.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Because it was just like, well, I mean, I won't say what the ending was, but yeah, it was identical to what I would have gotten otherwise. But the run obviously was much harder, but for what reason?
Yeah. So then, like, does there even feel like there's incentive to keep going? Like, do you feel compelled? I don't. The only thing that's compelling me is just like, I want to know what the true ending is, and I don't want to look it up, and I want to earn it, but I also don't want it to be just something that's completely like trivial of me having to go through all these different tasks to do every single thing just to get it. Usually it's like a difficulty thing that would lock you out of, the true ending or whatever, or it's like some kind of like secondary boss after the final boss, like now you get the true ending. So I just don't know what it is at this point. I don't know how to even like gear myself toward it, and that's what's kind of been confusing. I'll talk about the gameplay some though, because the gameplay is like probably the best part of this game. As much as I have like some a little bit of contention against the flow of it when it comes to all of that, the combat's great. It feels really good. I love that you're able to absorb enemy like powers, and that gives you like a one-time use power depending on what kind of enemy you absorb. Can you tell me what some of those? Tell me what some of those are like, because I want to get like an idea for the scope.
Sure. So like if it's a basic enemy, like let's say it's one that shoots like a laser out periodically, and then you absorb him, then you'll get to shoot like, you'll get one shot of that laser. It will just like shoot out of your, face or whatever. And then there are others that have some kind of powers like, okay, this one does a jumping kind of punch that smashes down on the ground, and you'll get that power, and it'll be a one-time use thing, but they'll usually be pretty powerful. And you can get some power-ups that let you kind of empower different things. I mean, there are some that let you like add a chance to use poison on your hit, a chance to add slow to the enemy. Some of them power up your enemy absorbed powers by a certain percentage. So depending on how you want to kind of like guide your build, that's where those come in. One of the things I have seen that people were not happy about with this game, and I agree with them, is that when it comes to things like increasing the I don't remember what they're called, but they're the little like sub items that you can pick up that increase your crit, your chance to poison enemy, things like that. They go in like 1% increments, and that's like so boring. Not that I want to make like broken builds all the time, but I at least want to be able to like accidentally do that sometimes, like let me, or not even a broken build, just like let me get like a up to like 50% chance to poison somebody. But like at maximum, and not maximum, but like the most I've ever really gotten when it comes to collecting those things, since there is RNG to it also, it's like maybe I've gotten like a 10 to 15% chance to like poison an enemy on a hit. And it's like, that's nothing after all those things I've collected. It is minuscule when you think about, I picked up 15 of these different little things. They should at least be like 2.5, or there should be a variety of them that have some different like scaling to them, because that just does not feel like enough to warrant like me going out of my way to try to get something like that if it's that small of an increment, So that was something that I have seen complaints about, and I do agree with that. As much as I like the combat, it feels like they could really like buff up that system of like power-ups, just because it feels so minuscule.
Yeah, that was going to be my big question, actually, was because I had seen that, and to me, that seemed like a pretty big and legitimate concern. Because to me, I feel like if you're going to implement something like that, and, you know, a lot of action roguelikes have something like this, like, you at least want to be able to get to, like, I mean, a 25% at some point.
Yeah.
Right? Or
even
like
that would have been
30%. Nice. Yeah.
It's like maybe you could, but you would have to collect so many of those things. And there's not any that are like, sometimes you'll get like little clusters of them. It'll give you like maybe 4 or something, but it's like, come on, this is so tiny. Give me like 10% jumps if I find like really good ones or something. And when it comes to like empowering your, like, let's say your secondary attacks, the things you're absorbing from enemies, like those can get really powerful because those power-ups for them give like plus 20% damage to those. And it's like, yeah, that's a significant amount. So why is my crit rate or my poison rate and things like that like drawn back so much where it's just 1% changes? That just feels so like such a, I don't know, just a drastic change in percentage.
Would you say that, like, if that were something that had been tweaked, like, how big of an impact do you think that would have on the game? Like, on, I guess where my head is going with this, from a perspective of you are in this boat of you want to see, like, the true ending of this game, but, like, really just to see it. Like, you're not wanting to go see it because you want to keep playing the game itself, right? Like, it's not the gameplay that's really compelling you to get to the true ending. It's really wanting to see it.
Yeah.
If they do something like that, would that be enough, you think, to make a big enough difference to make it the gameplay that makes you want to keep going?
I don't think that would be enough to make me want to keep going, because one of the other things I'll say about it is just there's just not a lot of variety to it. Like, I've gone, I've beaten it, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 times or something, or beaten runs 4 or 5 times. And it's like, I've kind of seen all there is to see as far as like the enemies, the environments, things like that. There's still like one weapon type that I haven't unlocked. But aside from that, all I can really shoot for is different cosmetic changes. So different costumes, different weapon cosmetics, and just whatever the true ending is. But like, do I want to keep going through the same runs, fighting the same enemies in the same way just to do that? And especially like being so limited in like how much I feel like I'm actually being able to change my character or like customize my character build with those small percent changes. It's like, I don't know, man. Like, I think there's such a good foundation here. And I think if they just change a little bit about it and maybe add just a few more zones or maybe different enemy types or something, that this could really turn into something, I don't know, it could really just improve the game overall. In total, I've played for about 8.5 hours and I'm already kind of like falling out of it to where I'm losing interest in it because there's just not much more to see. And that feels a real shame because of how strong the offering is in the first few hours. But again, once you run through it a few times, like, you're going to just keep seeing the same stuff. And the good part about that is like, okay, I know these enemies, like I can predict their movement now, but it's also like, even as I'm adding these like tangles and things in, the enemies aren't really changing their movement. They might be a little bit faster or their attacks might do more damage, but they're doing the same attacks. They're still telegraphing the same way. So it just doesn't feel like there's much variety, even with all the changes and all the items you're adding to your build or whatever through any run. It all feels kind of samey to me. So I think maybe like the better way to play this is multiplayer. And I think there could be a lot of fun there if you're just doing runs with your friends periodically. I don't know if playing it the way that I did is just like a solo playthrough is the way it was really intended to be played. Because if it were, I just wish there were more for me to do or something more to see than there has been so far.
Yeah, it does seem like a much more co-op forward game. But yeah, I mean, it does though tout that it is supposed to be good for solo also. So I mean,
Yeah.
just playing with your friends is not going to like change the issues that it has. It will just make it more fun because you've got your squad with you, so that might maybe mask some of the like issues that it's got going with it.
Right.
Just for fun's sake. But yeah, I think those core problems would still remain. One question I do have though is like, so how many different characters are there and like how different do they play?
Well, you're just one character, and all that's changing is your costume type, or you're not your costume type, just like your costume, which is purely cosmetic. That's all that you can really change about the appearance of your character. But the weapons, and I think there are maybe 6 of them total, that's where the gameplay changes. So it's whatever kind of weapon you choose at the beginning. You don't get different weapons as you go through or anything like the level. It's one weapon that you're sticking with. And the play style really comes from that. So if you wanted to say like how many different play types or character types there are, then you could say 6 just because of how many different weapons there are. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. It almost feels like there needs to be some sort of I don't know, like variation there of like unlocking, some sort of like tree progression with the weapons or something, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah. So there are like different like weapon sort of abilities that you can pick up as well. So I think there's 3 total like weapon specials. The weapons don't fight differently with that, but you press, at least on controller, you press left trigger and that does your whatever your weapon special is. So that is where like there's some variety to even within each weapon that you choose, but nothing so drastic that it's going to change the way a weapon works or how the swings on it work. One complaint I saw also, and I kind of agree with this, and I'll talk about this now, is the way the scythe works. Like, scythe, always a cool weapon, and you've got your big swing to it, and it's like, okay, this makes sense. But the problem is if there's an enemy between you and the blade of the scythe, it does not take damage from like the swing. Like if it is in between. So it's like
there's a safe zone.
Yeah, exactly. So
that sucks.
It seems like, okay, I'll agree that maybe it should do less damage if you hit it with just the stick part and not the actual blade. But for it to do nothing, it just feels so bad when you're whiffing hits on these tiny enemies that are just one hit enemies anyway. But it just happened to get a little too close to you, so now you miss completely, and that just feels bad. So I wish they would at least like make it do at least half damage or something if it's in that area around you, but don't make it do nothing. That just feels, it makes me not want to use the scythe very much. After I beat it once with the scythe, I was like, all right, I'm not playing with this weapon anymore. That kind of sucked.
Maybe they'll do some updates and some rebalancing and stuff. Actually, I'm looking right now and it's saying that, so I guess there's already been one update because they're at 1.1 already. But that one looks to be more of like a supporter pack thing and like a Halloween cosmetic thing. Yeah. But it does say that they've done some reworking and balancing with like the fragments and a few other things. But it kind of sounds like that there's definitely more things that need to be worked on. But since they are doing updates, though, like hopefully they're going to be listening to their audience and taking some of that feedback, because though there are like a lot of very critical reviews and stuff on this game, those are all reviews that would make this game better should the developers actually choose to listen to them.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. And I think even from just some of the reviews that I had seen on Steam, the good ones, maybe not all, but a lot of the good ones were like, it's great, but, and it was a lot of things that I had mentioned. And a lot of the bad ones were like, the combat's great, but. So it's like, there's a consensus on where like the areas of improvement are on the good and the bad reviews. And I think if they really just like clean up that part of it, then it's really going to push a lot of the bad ones over to good and solidify the positive reviews that they already have. And this is a game that I would definitely come back to if they made some of those slight adjustments and maybe added just a little bit more variety or something. I don't know exactly what I would want from it as far as like just giving me something more to strive towards. But I think I would right now in its current state, I would wait for a sale. There is a sale for $22.39 right now. That's a fair price to me for like the time I've gotten out of it. But even so, like I've gotten more time out of cheaper games because there were just something more incentivizing me to continue. And this one, I'm having a tough time wanting to keep going back to it. It's just my stubbornness is probably going to make me actually finish it. And not because I have a desire to continue playing it in the way that I do something like Hades, because there's just always something more to see. And I'm not saying everything needs to be like that, but I just want something to be either like aiming to unlock or some kind of secret that I haven't discovered how to get to yet or things like that. And for this, it just feels like if I have the patience to go through every single one of those biomes and finish all the little quests in them and then get the true ending. And I don't know if I have that kind of patience, but TBD on that.
You can tell me if this isn't fair, but I don't know. Something just always irks me about, and we've seen this with plenty of other games. It's not just this one, but something always irks me about when a game just releases and there's already a whole bunch of DLCs for it. And like, granted, these DLCs are all cosmetic things. It's not like they're gatekeeping content, right? But just like, there's just something about that to me that just feels icky about, I don't know, about just pushing a game, especially if the game has some, issues in the mechanics and stuff that may need to be tooled or something. But you have like 4 or 5 different DLCs already available for purchase for it. And I'm like, man, shouldn't that time have been spent elsewhere?
Yeah, here's what I'll say to that. I think as far as cosmetics go, I am completely behind indie developers releasing as much cosmetic DLC as they want to. Like, this is something that can help to just like boost their sales more. And if people are really into their game, then these are optional buys that are not going to change the game, but it like changes the costume you're wearing or whatever. And so that's completely fair to me. I don't mind that. The only issue I have in this case is I don't feel like this is content heavy enough to make me or anyone really like desire getting these various costumes, because it's like I'm almost done with the game after less than 10 hours. So it's like, why would I want more costumes to continue playing the same game? It's like, that's not the draw to me, the cosmetics of it. Maybe it is for some people. And I think like maybe the playing with your friends part and having kind of goofy costumes as you're playing together, that's fun, but there just needs to be more for me to be playing. And that would be like it would go from like a medium recommendation to like a big recommendation if it was just more content heavy. And maybe that's something they'll release down the line or plan to. I don't know. I haven't looked at like a roadmap or anything if there is one for this game. But again, it's one I would come back to if it just like added a little bit more and maybe spruced up some of those item issues I was talking about, and maybe made the bosses a little bit harder, because even the last boss feels like the easiest boss. Unless he just goes into some kind of crazy like secondary form on the true ending part. I don't know. But yeah, like I could probably go without getting hit on the last boss if I was patient enough, and not because I'm like super skilled or anything, but just because it feels everything's telegraphed and like slow moving enough to where I can keep up with all of that. And with the some of the bosses, it's a little bit crazier, but the last boss just is very predictable in his movement.
You haven't seen me in my true form.
That's what I was hoping for. Like, let me see your second form, dude.
Maybe you will. Maybe you will.
I hope
never
so.
say never.
Power up!
Hey, if you're enjoying this episode so far, do us a favor and throw us a like, a follow, share the episode of the podcast with folks who love indie games so we can get more of these game recommendations out there and support indie game devs. We also have our YouTube channel at youtube.com/nerdsloth, where you can catch us playing more indie games, or check out our top 5 and top 10 series for even more indie game recommendations, because we believe there's an indie game out there for everyone.
Combo!
Let's talk about some other indie games we've been playing this week. Here, let me start with a real simple one first. I started playing Megabonk finally because everybody's playing it. Everyone was playing it but me.
Okay, tell me what you think about it.
Even my parents played it, and my 2-year-old played it. My dog's been playing it, and I was like, man, I guess I'll play it.
Yeah, your 2-year-old is definitely a skateboarding skeleton main.
Oh man, she's way better at it than me. She's beat it already. She beat this game 100%. She's top tier. I love it. I think it's great. It's a lot of fun. Honestly though, starting guy, Fox guy, he's the best. He just is the best. He really is. He is the most fun to play. I love him.
How many guys have you unlocked so far?
8 or 9, I think. But I keep coming back to my little fox in his little magician outfit because there's something about him. I don't know what it is that keeps drawing me back. But he just feels the most fun to play to me.
Huh.
I don't know why.
I go back to him every once in a while, but I guess my main 2, if I had to choose, would be Mega Chad because I love his aura that he has around him.
Yeah, I haven't gotten him yet.
Oh, okay. I thought he was one of the earlier characters. Maybe not. Maybe it's just, I guess, how you play it.
Well, I could be unlocking things out of order.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And I guess the other one would be, I don't remember the knight's name, but I really like the knight because I love the way his sword swings. Anybody can pick up any item, but for him, like every time he levels up, he gets a little bit more armor, so he has a little bit more survivability to him. So I have a couple of his costumes just because I've played with him so much.
Yeah. I do like the bush. That's just kind of
fun. Oh yeah, the sniper bush. He's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty good. What I like too, and I think this is one of the things I like the most about this game, and it's one of the reasons, one of the things that drew me so deep into Vampire Survivors, and this honestly to me feels pretty much like this is just 3D Vampire Survivors, with more humor to it for sure, is that there's a ton of secrets in this game.
Yes.
And like, I feel like every single run I play, I'm finding some new secret. And like the sniper bush thing, it's like, just randomly finding that bush and then being like, wait a second, I can attack this bush. What is this? And then like all of a sudden it becomes like a boss that follows you around forever. And you're like, oh my God. So yeah.
And then
I love
there's something similar to that on the desert level. On the forest level, there is also like the cage where it's like you have to find the key for it. Did you unlock him?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. So that's the monkey with sunglasses. He's great because he can climb any surface. He's super fun to play just because it's easy for him to like be very mobile around the stage since he can just like climb any wall.
I do like him, and like thematically, I just love the banana ring thing.
Oh, it's so
regardless.
Good. Yeah.
It's just like, honestly, it's like the best weapon in the game to me. I just love it. But being him with it just makes me happy.
Also, like something I've done with the bananas is like increase the amount of projectiles that I have going at once. So there's a ton of bananas and increase the size of the banana. So there's just a bunch of giant bananas. Like around me. And it feels so good. And I feel so protected. Thanks to that potassium shield around me.
I love doing that and also increasing the attack speed.
Oh, yeah.
So that they're just, I have lightning fast bananas.
That's the kind of like ridiculousness that I want from a roguelike that I cannot get in Godbreakers because it's holding back too much.
Yeah.
And Megabonk is doing the opposite and not holding back at all. But it's still you can like have a completely broken build and it's still kind of challenging to beat. So it's like, there's a good balance there for me.
It's tough. It really is tough. And goddamn, I love those bananas. Like they got the speed force when you put that thing on it. Like these are bananas that the Flash, hangs out with. So
yeah.
It's been a lot of fun. I mean, we've talked about it a couple episodes, but just because I finally jumped into it for the first time, I had to bring it up because
I have a great love for that game. That's going to definitely be on my GOTY list for sure.
Here's another one that I played this week, which is called Choo Survivor 2. And I didn't realize until I said it out loud that it rhymes. So I feel really silly.
Is there a
now.
Choo Choo Survivor 1?
Yeah, there is an original Choo Choo Survivor.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if it was 2 just for the rhyme.
No. So this was developed by GTGD, which stands for Gamer to Game Developer. So basically, you take control of a train in a zombie apocalypse, drive through waves of undead, gather resources, rescue survivors, upgrade your firepower and locomotive, and then each train, because there's different trains that you can choose, has unique auxiliary systems. So you can build them up accordingly to stake your survival across different runs. Essentially, it's a Horde Survivor on rails, and I mean that literally because it's a train. It took me a couple runs to get into, but once I felt like I had a good rhythm down, sort of like maximizing as many upgrades as I could at the start of the run to sort of carry me through the rest, then it became really fun. Not easy, but fun. It gets really crazy with the amount of enemies coming at you. I mean, of course, because it's a Horde Survivor. But like some of these enemies are not like the slow moving kind of things. Like some of them like literally jump at you. And so it's like you have to be ready to either fight them off, like, you know, destroy them, or you have to be like constantly moving or they're going to do damage to you. And like, unless you've like really built up some of that like armor and stuff in like the metagame, like you don't last super long in a run in this game. And you can only move forward and back because you're a train. So like that kind of throws a wrench in things too, because it's, you know, not very many places you can go.
Yeah.
So your firepower's really got to be top notch, right?
It looks pretty fascinating.
It is. It's interesting.
I did see this one. I was a little hesitant because I wasn't sure. I'm glad you played it actually, because I'm curious. Like, is it something you would continue to play?
I kind of want to go back and play the original, which is like super cheap right now, just because I want to get a feel for what that first one had to offer and then check this one out.
Okay.
But yeah, I think
$3
it's
right now.
Exactly. I mean, it just is a simple idea when it comes down to it. You move forward and back and you survive. And then it's just building from there. There's bosses and stuff like boss fights and things. There's like optional fights, optional missions you can run into as you're like going along. You're picking kind of your, you're picking your train at the beginning. You're picking your like starting kind of auxiliary sort of weapon. You're picking the boss that you're going to face. You're picking your path, all those things like right at the beginning. So I think that's kind of interesting too. Because I played the demo, I don't know how things are going to keep like progressing from there. So like, I don't really know what it's going to look like aside from like, you know, a singular run. But it seems like there's a lot of really fun stuff. I know there's some really fun and ridiculous builds you can do. Like, there's lots of cool weapons like huge chain whips. There's a dragon that you can get that flies around you in a circle and just destroys everything, which is super fun.
I do wonder like what separates this from the first one, to your point, if it's just like a graphical upgrade or if there's like truly, if it plays differently, if it's like the developer improving on things that he was like, okay, I didn't do like the best job on the first game at this thing, so I'm going to make those adjustments and just release a second one with like all that fixed up and cleaned up in the way that it should have been, or I wish it had been in the first. So I don't know if it's just like an improvement, because the first one looks like it came out 2 years ago, 2023. So he presumably has just been developing this one ever since, and could just be like the best time you're going to have in a Horde Survivor train game.
Yeah, I have no idea what the main differences are, other than like graphically, they do look a little bit different. But like that first one does have a lot of very positive reviews. So I mean, obviously there's something there to enjoy. So yeah, I think it's fascinating, honestly. So I was really happy to check it out.
I definitely think for the combo price of like $6 something, you get both of them. And like, even if you only have fun for a few hours, you're still getting a good bang for your buck, good train for your buck there. Because like,
sure,
it just feels like a weird idea that would probably be like more fun than it seems like it would be for a while. I just don't know what the lasting appeal would be. But for that cheap a price, like it doesn't need to have that much lasting appeal.
Yeah, and I will always say I think there is something to be said for a game that, you know, is a one and done. Like you enjoy your time with it and then you move on to a new game.
Sure. We need some of
problem with
those.
that.
I can't play every game forever.
Yeah, I can't play every roguelike for the rest of my life. Because I'm going to try with some. There's a few. But like this second one has 70 something achievements. So there must be a lot to it.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. I've only got 3 so far. So I got a long ways to go.
So
what you got?
Yeah, I'll talk about a couple that I played this week. One I want to bring up because I did have fun with the demo. As I look at the Steam page of it, it's got mixed reviews though. So I'm curious if like it doesn't really have much more than what the demo is showing. The Horde Wants You Dead is a game that I played.
Ooh.
This one is a top-down shooter. It's like a shoot 'em up roguelike 4-player co-op game where you're literally, or I guess it's just like a Horde survivor game, literally, because it's all these other like little dudes running at you and you just have a gun and that's it. So you're just one little like stick figure looking dude or colorful little dude with a gun of different types that you can change between and power up. You've got your stuff that drops as you level up every time. It drops from the sky in like a little circle, so you have to go pick it up, but it can also crush enemies if it falls on them. So that's where your power-ups are. You'll go to that, you'll get your 3 options like you would in any roguelike or any like Horde Survivor roguelike, and you're just slowly powering yourself up, like increasing your damage, increasing your dodge like distance or your dodge recharge speed, things like that. And I did beat the demo and it was really fun, but I don't know if it's like a one-trick pony kind of thing where that's really all it has to it is like you just like surviving the same kind of areas in the same kind of way. So I don't know that I would recommend like the full thing only because I don't really know what all it offers. But I will say that, it was really fun. Try out the demo. I had a great time with that. If you have 3 other friends you can play with, because it is 4-player co-op, this might be like a really fun kind of goofy one to get into. I don't have a lot to say about it aside from what I played of it was fun, though I don't know how much lasting appeal it has.
I do like the idea of co-op Horde survivors, though. That, I mean, it just seems like such a fun time.
Vampire Survivors is actually adding a multiplayer mode as well.
I heard about that.
It's strange to me because that one you're doing so little. You're just moving around. So I don't really know like how great that would be. But, they've done everything else. Like I've succeeded everything else they've done, as simple as the gameplay is. And they actually just released a new DLC I saw, which is a Balatro team up called Anti-Up or something like that.
Yeah, they are always doing like new cool stuff.
Yeah, new free stuff. So it's like good on them.
They're so fun.
No shame towards or no hate towards them at all. Like I really appreciate them for starting the Horde Survivor thing. I just am enjoying the way other games are doing it or building upon that more so at this point.
It's crazy to think about like where Vampire Survivors was like a year ago and where it is now. Because even a year ago, it was an extremely overwhelmingly popular game, right? Mm-hmm. But like we didn't have this huge influx of Horde Survivors like we do now. So like now, not only is it like an extremely successful game, it also is like gonna go down as one of the most important indie games of all time, because it started an entire genre. So it's like, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, that's awesome for them. And I still see people on my friends list jumping on and playing that game, especially now with the new DLC. So still going. Another one that I played was Brew, like BREW. And
I was wondering about that one.
Yeah. So it's like a 3D, like cartoonish kind of action roguelike game. You're a rabbit, I think, or a mouse maybe, that has failed, like anthropomorphic mouse guy that's failed out of like alchemy school so many times. And so the idea to get you started is like because you failed so many times, someone is sponsoring you to try again. And as you're So this gets you into the school, and your goal is to reach like the top of this tower, or like face the challenges of this like alchemy tower. You're still using like weapons, or like at least like when you start out on the demo I played, you have like your little potion gun, and it kind of shoots like Splatoon type paint looking stuff. You also are brewing potions as you're going through. Potions can, at least the starting ones, can either power up your ranged and melee attacks, or if you throw them at the enemy, then it will do damage to them. And those, you're picking up the things to like add to craft with as you're like breaking open boxes, defeating enemies, things like that. I didn't beat the demo. I only played like one run of it, but I did like what I saw it had to offer so far. Like I enjoyed the gameplay. There is a dodge mechanic to it, so it's like it feels very, very like strict though. Like you have to really be watching the enemy and all the projectiles, because they will like start coming at you a lot quicker than you think they will, and kind of home towards you a little bit. So don't dodge too early is what I'll say, because I did that a lot and then I got hit by the stuff anyway. But yeah, it seemed really cool. The hub world after you lose a run is just like the outside of the academy. And so you're walking around the little hub, like talking to people, forming relationships with other students. You've obviously got your rival student who's, thinks she's the best and like you suck and everything. And
is that the cat?
Yeah, that's the cat girl.
Okay, yeah.
And you'll have to face her like at some point in various ways, or she might like add obstacles to your run or something. But it seems really cool. It's still got the like select 3 different options when you go and you get your badge. So there are badges in this. You get badges that will change the way some of your things work. Like your melee attack will always do crits, or your gunfire is faster, things like that, or you move faster. And it's not doing anything like super unique from what I saw, but I do like the visuals of it, and the gameplay was smooth enough. So it was something that if I might play the demo a couple more times before I commit to actually purchasing it, but I liked what I had seen from the one time I did play.
It's so adorable, which is surprising. I was surprised you played this one because it looks totally like a me game, but it is an action roguelike.
Yeah, so I think it looks like a you game, and that's what I would have thought. Yeah. But I think if you played it, you would be turned off by it because it would be a little too hard. Or it might be at first, at least. I don't know, like if it stays that way or if I just need to get used to the controls of it. But yeah, it may not be up your alley for that reason, if anything.
But I can watch you play it, and that'll be fine because it's got it's got so many bright colors. It's got cute little mice people.
It's so vibrant and cute. So I can appreciate that, with it also having like a layer of challenge to it that is right up my alley.
Yeah, that's awesome. I had seen this before, and I didn't even realize it was a roguelike when I had first seen it. It just kind of fell off my radar because there was like other things that I was looking at a little bit more in depth, and I had totally forgotten about this one. So I'm really glad you brought it up.
Final round!
Let's talk about some upcoming indie games we're excited about. I've got 2 I wanted to bring up. One is one that's already out, and I know that it's in our library already because I'm assuming you bought it, but it's RV There Yet. Because
you know what? Callie actually bought that because she wants to play.
Okay. Yeah, this game's blowing up. The devs from Goat Simulator and Satisfactory basically formed a new studio, and they made this game in from what I understand, a pretty short time span, kind of just shadow dropped it, and then it sold over 1 million copies in 1 week, which is insane for an indie game. Yeah, dude, that's crazy. But
that's like peak level popular.
Yeah. And it's basically just about how you are these little goofy guys that like kind of remind me almost like some sort of like I don't know, like the main guy on the page reminds me of like a mix of Cartman from South Park with the little bean guys from like Fall Guys.
Oh, yeah.
If you had mixed those two together, that's kind of what these dudes look like to me. But essentially, you are like these goofy little dudes who have this RV and you need to get it home, but you have all these obstacles in the way, and some of those obstacles are things that you cannot drive over. So you're going to have to do some like platforming with your RV, a lot of like grapple hooks and bridges and all kinds of stuff with this RV. And it just looks so funny. It's like a very, it's one of those like co-op physics-based humor kind of games. And I'm here for it. It looks so funny. Super cheap price point at $7.99 without a sale. So yeah, there's no reason not to check it out.
Yeah, this is one I'll definitely be trying out with her, and I'll let you know how it is. How many players is it total? 4? Oh yeah, up to 4 players. Drive one RV together with up to 4 players. Okay, cool.
Nice. The other game that I wanted to bring up is called Goodnight Universe. This is one that I almost did this past Steam Next Fest, but I ran out of time, so I didn't play it. But I knew it was coming out soon, so I figured we'd be talking about it anyway. So it comes out November 11th. This is a game where you play a baby, but this baby has psychic powers, can like read the thoughts of his family, is super intelligent, and has like some telekinesis as well, so can move stuff with his mind. Made by the same developers that did Before Your Eyes, which was like a super heartfelt and also make you cry kind of game. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. There's like basically like this corporation that's wanting to take you from your family, and also you're kind of like able to like you're sensing your family has like a lot of problems and stuff. And because you are a super intelligent little toddler and people just say what's on their mind, around you because you're a kid, like you see like all the perils and stuff that like a young family goes through and like all the hardships and everything. And like you can try to act as like sort of the healer and mediator for that, without being able to talk because, you're a baby. Yeah, I'm very excited for this one. It's going to be great. I'm going to cry. So there it is.
One that I know is coming out soon. I need to look it up because I don't know the exact day. Oh my God, hold on. I just saw Sonic Rumble. What is that? I keep getting distracted by all these other games. Okay, I'm going to mention this one. Then I'm going to talk about the one that I wanted to talk about. So Dark Quest 4 looks really cool. Oh. It's a turn-based dungeon crawler where you're creating a party of heroes to go on epic quests, but it looks like you are kind of like a wizard playing with like a board game pieces or something, or like little miniatures as they're going through this dungeon. If you look at like just how the layout is, like that just looks really cool. Sick. I don't know. I haven't played any or even heard of the other Dark Quest games, so I don't know like how popular they are, but this one's going to be on my wish list purely on visuals alone, and the fact that it's like a mix of like tactical gameplay and it looks like deck building to some degree. So that's all very appealing to me.
It looks like there are other games. So I'm looking at Dark Quest 3 and it's got not a ton of reviews, about 200, but mostly positive. So yeah.
Oh, nice. Okay, good. Then I don't feel bad about that recommendation. The one I really wanted to talk about though was Demonschool. That one is coming out. That one got pushed back because of Silksong, to my understanding, or at least like in part because of that. But now it's coming out on November 19th. And this is a tactical RPG kind of styled like the Persona game as far as like forming relationships and stuff. But it is tactical combat where it's the grid-based combat of you moving around. You are like in a literal school. You're a demon kid or demon teenager or whatever, or college kid or something in this like demon school. So you're fighting against other humans and demons and different things like that. The visuals look really cool. I just love tactic games, so that's going to be fun. And then also stacking onto that, the relationship forming portion of it just seems like a really cool combo. So that was one that I've been keeping an eye on, and I really like the visuals of. So I'm excited that it's finally going to be released in a couple weeks.
Yeah, it feels very Persona inspired in that way.
Definitely.
So yeah, I think it's going to be really cool. One game that was gonna release and then it got pushed out to be announced that I'm really bummed about is Mina the Hollower. It was supposed to come out, so we're recording this on October 30th. It's supposed to come out, I think, tomorrow, or maybe it was supposed to come out today. I don't remember, but it was supposed to come out either, sometime this week. but they did push it back to I don't know when. So I'm so bummed about it. We were so close.
It was supposed to come out tomorrow because as I look at the trailer of it, it says on October 31st comes a bona fide classic, but then the release date now says to be announced. So something got in the way, unfortunately.
That hurts. We have been waiting for this game for quite a few years. They've been working on this thing forever. It was kind of like a Silk song in which like we knew for years Yacht Club was working on this, but they just, we were so close. It's like they dangled it right in front of us. Here you go. You're like 2 days out. Nope. Sorry. It's gone.
Yeah. I wonder what happened because the last update on their Steam page was June 13th that was saying that it's coming out on Halloween. The demo's already out and try it now. And then now it still just says TBA.
Yeah. I played the demo. I liked it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I played it back then. I didn't talk about it much on our show because like before we had recorded, I'd only gotten to play like 15 minutes or something because I just ran out of time. But I got to play more of it later and yeah, it felt good. I really, really enjoyed it. I love the world of it.
And this is Yacht Club games from Shovel Knight fame, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, one last one I want to mention real quick because I have it and I just haven't gotten to play it yet. I need to go to my library real quick. Oh, no, I don't have it yet. I have the demo. Dicey Bugs. Look at Dicey Bugs.
Dicey Bugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
It will kind of remind you of like a lower, I guess like a lower budget version of what is that game we really like? Dice something?
Dice Folk?
Dice Folk, yeah. Only because I say that because of the rotation or the way that you are rotating your bugs around to kind of like see who's in front and who's in the middle, who's in the back. But yeah, you're just like your little bugs or you're collecting little bugs and that's your little fighting team against other bugs. It has like a roguelike layout of like going through the map and like choosing your path and everything. And it also has that dice mechanic to it, which is why it was reminding me of the Dice Folk game. So I
love that.
I'm very curious about it. It only has 15 reviews so far, but I think they're all positive. So that's why I downloaded the demo was because I was very curious about the game as a whole. So once I try the demo, I'll report back probably next week and let you know how it was. And well, you'll probably see if I liked it because I would have bought it if I did.
Yeah, it'll show up in our library and then I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, that's
exactly.
Fair.
So just super cute, but it looks like it has some good like mechanics to it. So that's what's kind of appealing to me about it.
Yeah, it looks solid.
Game over.
If you had a good time listening to this episode, stick around for the bumper to learn how you can help support the show and all the things we do here at Nerd Sloth Creative. You can also check the show notes for our link tree, which will take you to our social media, Discord, merch store, and all the other cool things. But get in touch with us and let us know what indie games you're playing so you can help us elevate these games and we can help support the indie game devs. That's game over for us. My name's Chris.
I'm Joseph.
And we'll continue on the next episode.
Continue.
Indie Game Arcade is recorded and produced by Nerd Sloth Creative. If you're looking for more gaming content, head over to youtube.com/nerdsloth for indie game let's plays and recommendations. If you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/nerdsloth, where you can select a pledge and receive access to hundreds of hours of bonus content from everything at Nerd Sloth Creative. If you're an indie game developer and would like us to review your game or explore other opportunities, send an email to nerdslothcreative@gmail.com with the subject line Indie Game Arcade. Thanks for listening, and keep supporting indie game devs.